हेलो फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम बैक टू माय चैनल। आज का टॉपिक है ऑब्जर्वेशन, जो कि यूज़फुल रहने वाला है आगे आने वाले टीचिंग एग्ज़ाम्स के लिए। एंड ये टॉपिक्स जो हैं वो बेस्ड है निos का जो डीएलएड का स्टडी मटेरियल है उस पर। तो आगे आने वाली वीडियोस के लिए चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर लीजिए और बेल आइकन को प्रेस कर दीजिए ताकि आपको नोटिफिकेशन टाइमली मिल सके। तो वीडियो को स्टार्ट करते हैं। Observation. Learning from observation is a common and natural method of human learning. Observational learning, also known as vicarious learning, social learning, or modeling, is a type of learning that occurs as a function of observing, retaining, and replicating novel behavior executed by others. Observational learning is a key learning method for children when acquiring basic tasks such as language and cultural norms. But it is different from imitation, in which the observer copies and reproduces the behavior of the model. In observational learning, we think and judge and learn not only how to do certain things but also what the consequences of our action are likely to be. Therefore, learning through observation is not exact reproduction of the model's behavior but developing behavior based on the observed behavior. According to Bandura, following four distinct processes are involved in observational learning. Attention process. We do not imitate the total behavior of a model. Rather, we focus on specific aspects that we are interested to learn. We pay attention to significant features of the behavior we want to learn. For example, a child learning to write in good handwriting watches her teacher and keenly observes the way she is holding the pen, moving her fingers, where she is using capital letters, and does not pay attention to how the teacher is dressed or how she walks. Retention process. The ability to store information is also an important part of the learning process. Retention can be affected by a number of factors, but the ability to pull up information later and act on it is vital to observational learning. We need to remember the things observed through some way of using symbols, understanding, and organizing our observations. Usually, we employ two processes. First, retention. First, storing the things observed as visuals in our memory, and then rehearsing the sequence of actions mentally. For example, if anyone is trying to bowl like Zahir Khan, then he should mentally rehearse the sequences of the bowling actions of Zahir after observing him in person or in TV telecast and forming a visual image of the actions. Bandura suggests that the best way to learn from a model is to organize and rehearse the observed behavior cognitively and then act it out. Motor reproduction process. After we have retained the observed behavior through rehearsal of the visual images, the behavior has to be transformed into physical actions. For this, one needs two things. First, he or she must have basic requirements for the action to be performed by him. If one desires to be a batsman like Tendulkar, the basic requirement is the physical capability of a batsman. If one is too weak, no matter how perfectly one rehearses the sequences of batting of Tendulkar, one will not be able to perform because it would be difficult to lift and move the bat in the same manner. The second aspect for transforming the observed behavior to action is to actually practice the sequence of actions. Having a perfect visual imagery and mental rehearsal of the actions will not help the observer to perform the act spontaneously. To perform effectively, repeated practice combined with continuous feedback on practice and making appropriate corrections after each practice are necessary. Motivational process. You must have come across some children who have learned very well through observational learning, as they can vividly describe the steps of action and can perform it perfectly. But often they do not perform as and when required. In such cases, what they lack is proper motivation to act. The child is required to be motivated, especially self motivated to act. In summary, we can say that observational learning begins with the observation of a modeled event and undergoes following four processes before being transformed into a matching performance on the part of the observer. The observer must pay attention, the observer must represent the observed behavior cognitively, store it, and rehearse it. The observer must reproduce and refine the observed behavior if he or she has required capabilities, and the observer must perform the learned behavior under appropriate motivational conditions. सो गाइज ये था आज का टॉपिक। आई होप आपको पसंद आया होगा। प्लीज़ इसे लाइक एंड शेयर ज़रूर कीजिए। थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग।